Okay, let's talk about WordPress themes. Now, I was thinking of how I could explain the concept of themes, plugins, and widgets to a layman. And I thought about a house. Okay, imagine your website was a house and you wanted to build a house. The very first thing you would do is you would probably get an architect, maybe, to design your house, and the architect will sit down. He will say, okay, your house is going to have 2 bedrooms. Okay, it's going to have a dining, a kitchen, 2 bathrooms. It might have a small garage for your car, and if you want to get all fancy, you may even have a swimming pool and a tennis court and a cinema and whatever you want, basically. Themes for WordPress sites are like architectural plans for a house. Okay, with a theme you can pretty much decide how you want your WordPress site to look. Now, there are millions of themes out there for you to choose from, and I'm not exaggerating. Okay, there are so many themes out there. The very first thing you need to know about themes is that some of them are free. In fact, most of them are actually free, while others are premium, which means you'll have to pay in order to use those themes. Now, a typical question I get asked regularly when talking about WordPress themes is it worth the money to buy a particular theme? Well, it depends, okay? There are times when you would find a theme that absolutely matches exactly what you're looking for. Is it worth spending $40, $50 on it? Absolutely, because it will save you a lot of time, a lot of energy and stress. But again, like I said, it depends on what you really want or how you want your website to look like. A lot of the free themes out there are very good as well. You just need to know where to look. So right now I'm on this website called elegantthemes.com, and I'm just going to click on the view our themes. Now, as you can see, they have different categories. They have themes for an app, for a blog, for a business, e-commerce magazine, and so on and so forth. Let's take a look at blog. Okay, I'm just going to close that. Let's take a look at blog. Now, we have different themes and their names. Nexus, Fable, Lucid, Memoir, different kinds of themes. Let's take a look at the very first one, Nexus. Clicking on it, and the good thing about Elegant Themes is that you can actually view, have a live demo of how your WordPress site will look like if you installed the Nexus theme. Now, look at this. As you can see, we have what looks to be some sort of slider here. You have the social media icons right here. You've got Twitter, Facebook. I think this is for the RSS feed, and of course Google+. And let's take a look. As you can see on the left side, you have different places where you can add some content and some pictures. You have a spot here for recent posts. You have another spot here for most popular posts. You have a small section here where you can upload a video. And as you can see, this is a pretty nice looking theme, mostly for magazines, I guess, or for a very, very busy blog. There are lots of places where you can add content. As you can see, you can add posts here as well. And you can see at the bottom of the footer, this is what we call the footer, which is the bottom of the website. There are 4 areas where you can add information. Now, these are typically widget areas, but we'll talk more about that a little later. Okay, so that's for the Nexus theme. Let's take a look at another theme instead. Let's see. I'm just going to click back here. That was a bit too lots of information. It was kind of a very congested looking kind of theme, in my opinion. But let's click on this. Let's see what Fable has to offer. So as you can see, this looks a lot cleaner. Basically, you have a large background image, you've got some text, you've got social media icons on top here as well, and of course you have in the middle you have a spot where you can add what looks like a slider or even a video as well. And of course you have like an accordion kind of section where you can add the quote of the day. And of course you've got these as well. You've got this as well. And again, the bottom of the page, you have 3 areas where you can add content. Looks pretty decent, looks pretty good. Okay. Let's check some more. Let's check some more. Oh, let's go to this other website called theme.wordpress.com. This is the official site for where you can search for WordPress themes as well. And so let's see what we have here. Basically, one of the most important things to look for when looking for a theme is you need to ask yourself exactly what your WordPress site is going to be all about. Okay, if it's for a blog, look for themes that offer you the opportunity to post blog posts and design them the way you want them to look like. Not every theme suits every kind of website, okay? So just take note of that. I'm actually trying to see how we can navigate ourselves around here. Okay, so this is let's see. Okay, let's GrayZ demo. Okay, so this is another theme. This actually looks pretty interesting. It has a nice background. Let's click on the about page and see what it looks like. This actually looks pretty interesting, and it looks like a textbook or like an exercise book where you can write text. The design as well looks good, as you can see. Yeah, this looks pretty interesting actually. GrayZ demo. Okay. Let's take a look at some more themes. Linen. Okay. This is actually $79. As you can see right here, it says premium. This means that it's not free. You have to pay for it. But let's see what it looks like. Let's see if it's worth $79. As you can see, it has a menu. This is where you can probably add your logo up here. It has a slider. Clicking on this should change. Okay. It has a slider that comes with it. It has the social media icons. It has... Okay, so these are the regular posts. Okay, Point Lighthouse. Okay, it has a Twitter feed on the right as well. Okay, and also it has 4 sections at the bottom of the website where you can add information. Is this worth $79? I honestly don't think so. I mean, you can pretty much get your website to look like this with a free theme. Anyway, let's take a look at another website. This is Theme Forest. Now, most of the things that you have here are usually they're not free. You have to pay for them. Let's see. I'm just taking it. Okay, enter fashion WooCommerce theme. Let's see. So let's say, for example, we wanted to have a website that looks like for fashion. Let's see. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, just click on this. Let's see how it's going to look like. Come on, come on, come on. Open up. Let's see what you look like. Okay, so this has a nice slider at the very top. And yeah, this does look like a fashion website immediately. Featured products. This is where you can upload pictures of what you're currently selling. It has where you can add the price, the name of of the product itself. And then from the blog, if you've written blog posts, you have, yeah, these are the first 2. Okay, shop now. Again, it has 4 areas at the bottom of the page where you can add content. Basically, I hope you've kind of understand the concept of a theme right now. A theme generally dictates how your WordPress site is going to look like. Now, for a beginner, you probably would not be able to make changes to your WordPress theme. You're pretty much stuck with whatever theme you choose. You're pretty much stuck with what it has to provide you. But when you get to the advanced stages of this course, you will start to be able to make changes to your WordPress theme and change how it looks like. One thing to also keep in mind is that a WordPress theme goes beyond just the design and how your WordPress site looks like. It also determines how your site will function. Okay, So themes are very, very important. It will determine how your content is going to look like, how it's going to be displayed, and other things like that. It's not just about the design. Basically, it goes beyond that as well. But let's see. If you go down to appearance on your backend for your WordPress site and click on themes, okay, do that, and you should have at least 2015, 2014, and probably 2013 on your site. Now, the very first theme you see is the one that is activated. That's the one that is active right now. So if I came down to my blog, as you can see, this is my website. This is basically the 2013 theme in action. Let's activate 2015. Let's see what it looks like. Refresh. And as you can see, it's changed right now. This is the 2015 theme in action. Everything has changed. It's now black and white. The text. You have a sidebar to the left right here where you can add information. But let's go to 2014, which was the very first, active theme on it. Let's see. Let's refresh that. And boom, as you can see, everything now looks different. You now have the black background to the left and the top right here. You have a calendar to the right. And that's basically it. So one thing you should keep in mind again about themes is that they determine how your site looks like. They determine how your site will function. So I've shown you some good sites where you can search for themes and then choose whichever one you want to install. Now, how to install a theme is very, very easy. Once you're here in appearance, all you have to do is to click on add new, and by default you will have several other themes that pop up again. As you can see, there is multi-loquent, there's accountant's light, connects, so many themes out here. And of course you can always choose to preview, so you can click on the preview button down here and it will show you exactly how your site is going to look like. As you can see, this looks pretty interesting. Just click install right here. Install. Okay, you've installed. Now you can choose to activate it if you want. I'm going to activate this theme, Journal Light 1.1.1. Okay, so let me come back down here and click refresh. And as you can see, my theme now looks completely different. My WordPress site looks completely different, as you can see. So let's just come back here again, click on add new. And if you know the name of the theme that you want to install, you can simply type it in this search box right here and it will bring it out for you. There's so many themes to choose from. Look at this, Stronghold. This looks interesting. I'm just gonna click install right now. Let's see how that looks like. Install, activate, and that's it. Let's see, refresh, and oops, look at that. It looks different. Looks broken though, but that's okay. We probably need to make some changes to how it looks like. Now, one very important thing to notice and to take note of is that there are certain themes that come with options, okay? And the theme options may give you the opportunity to change how you want the text to look like, change the color, change the font size, change certain things. Now, with this Stronghold theme that is active, look at this. I have something here called Theme Upgrade. Now, if I click on Theme Upgrade, let's see what we have right here. It's giving me some other different options. I actually have no idea what this is. Oh, okay. So if you upgrade to now I understand. So the current theme that we have right here, the Stronghold, is the free version. Now, if we upgrade it to the professional version by paying money, we will have access to these functions: a page builder that allows us to build pages, a page layout, typography. We can choose over 500 plus Google fonts, and we can then decide how we want our text to look like. It will also give us the opportunity to have a portfolio for images and documents and things like that. Awesome sliders as well, as you can see. A responsive layout. So as you can see, sometimes really you may, if you feel a premium version of a theme is actually worth it, by all means go ahead and buy the theme if you think it's really worth it. Because you can see just how much we stand to gain if we bought this version, the professional version of the Stronghold theme. We have all these options and functionality added to the theme as well. But I'm gonna pass that for now. I'm just gonna go back and I'm gonna change everything back to 2015. So I'm just gonna activate that. Just come back here, refresh. Okay, and then we're back to the 2015 theme. So basically, this keeps popping up. I am having some issues with my system, unfortunately. Anyway, so that's basically an introduction to themes. Hope you have a decent understanding of what themes are. As we go along the course, you will grow more comfortable into the concept of themes. But next up is widgets. So join me for that class. Thank you. Now that we've talked about themes, it's time for me to introduce you to the concept of child themes. Okay, if I come down to Appearance and then click on Themes, these are all the themes I have so far installed on my WordPress site. Okay, now the active theme right now is the 2015 theme. If I come down to Editor right here, click on it, to the right you will see I have template files for template, archives, theme, header.php, and so on and so forth. These are all the files that pretty much make up the 2015 theme. These files control how information is displayed on your screen. So say for example, header.php, if I click on this is the code that controls how information is displayed on the header. This controls how your menu is displayed, how your title is displayed, how your logo is displayed, and so on and so forth. Now, if I want to make customization, say change the way the menu is displayed, okay, or maybe change the way images are displayed, or maybe even change the color of the text, or change the font size, or just do any sort of customization to the theme. If I now updated my theme, okay, let's say the author, right, let me just give you an example. Right now, theme details, I'm just click on this. This is version 1.2, okay? Now, supposing version 1.3 came out tomorrow with some new features, and I decided to update it to 1.3, I would lose all the customizations I've made so far, okay? Now, you could decide not to update your theme. You could decide to keep the version of 1.2. The problem with this method is that your theme will eventually become very susceptible to hacks, to cyber attacks, and it might not even become compatible with new plugins that will be released in the future. We'll talk about plugins in the next class. So you have to update your theme. It's the only way to keep your website safe and to keep it compatible with new features and other plugins that might be released by WordPress and other authors. So how do we make customizations to our theme and yet still be allowed to update our theme without breaking anything? This is where the concept of child themes comes into play. You see, a child theme pretty much inherits everything from the parent theme, okay? Inherits all the files and so on and so forth. So all you would need to do is to make those changes, whatever customizations you need to do, you need to make those changes to the child theme. And then whenever the parent theme has an update, you can just go ahead and update the theme for the parent theme, and that's it. Nothing will be broken. And this is where child themes comes into play. So in a future class, I'm going to show you how you can create a child theme and how you can make customizations to your parent theme as you would like to. So stay tuned for that and join me in the next class where we'll talk about plugins. Okay, let's talk about plugins. Now, in order to understand what plugins are, let's go back to my analogy of a house being a website. Let's say you've built your house and now you want to add some extra features. Features such as you want to add some internet connection, or you want to add some cable TV, or let's even say a security system. These additional features are like, extra functionality that you add into your house. Same thing too with your website. Let's say you wanted to add some additional functionality. So aside from users being able to read content from your website. Let's say, for example, you wanted them to be able to download a certain kind of document, or you wanted them to be able to receive newsletters from you, or other things like that. This is where plugins come into play. Plugins are like programs that add some kind of functionality to your website. So let's take a look at what the plugins that we have currently installed. Now, if you go down to your plugins tab and you click on install plugins, you should have Akismet and Hello Dolly, and you might even have the limit login attempts plugin installed. These may vary from WordPress installation to the other. Sometimes you may have 2 of these, sometimes you may have 1, sometimes you may have all 3 of them. Now, as you can see, Akismet is a plugin that fights. It protects your blog from comment and track back spam. Hello Dolly is a very unusual kind of plugin. It's the plugin that actually does things like what you have here, Howdy Alex. It's a very unnecessary plugin, to be honest. And the last one here, limit login attempts. This is a security plugin that limits how many times a user can log in, or a user can try to log in unsuccessfully into your website. So there are lots of plugins out there. There are over 1 million plugins available. And one other thing you should keep in mind is that just like themes, there are paid plugins and there are plugins that are also free. The issue sometimes with free plugins is that they become stale and outdated, and you might have security issues working with plugins that are free. But the good news though is that most plugins that are free are constantly updated by the people who created them. So this is one thing that you should just keep in mind. Make sure that your plugins are always up to date. But let's search for some plugins. If I come down here to add new, by default WordPress will start to provide you some plugins that you can install to add some more functionality to your website. I'm sorry. But look down here, we have some plugins available. Let's click on the plugin for Facebook, for example. As you can see, there are different kinds of plugins available. There's the advanced Facebook wall widget. This advanced Facebook wall widget displays feeds from Facebook page only. Different types of plugins that can achieve different kinds of functionality for you. Facebook post embed, one shortcut to embed Facebook posts easily, responsive and custom margin bottom. Let's take a look now. Let's look at something else. Let's just go back here. Let's click on, let's say, video, for example. Now with video, as you can see, there are different other kinds of plugins available for you. There is a YouTube channel plugin. This shows video thumbnails or playable blocks of recent videos from YouTube channel or playlist. There is a plugin here for embedding YouTube videos. There are so many plugins out there for different kinds of functionality. Look at this creative image slider, the best WordPress image slider and portfolio plugin. This one would allow you to add a slider onto your home page or into another page that you want. This is all really nice. But anyway, let's just install this as an example. All you have to do is basically just click the install button. And when you do that, as you can see, it's been successfully installed. What you now need to do is to activate the plugin. Okay, it's not enough to install, you also need to activate the plugin as well. Now coming back here, now we can now see that we have our plugin activated, and I can choose to deactivate it. I can choose to edit it, but this is for advanced programmers. If you want to tweak the way the plugin works, then you can come down here and make edits if you want to. And as you can see, there is a new tab that's been created as a result of this plugin that we just installed. So, you know, with time, we'll be working with different kinds of plugins, and you will be exposed to different kinds of plugins and how they function. But for now, this was a brief introduction to the world of plugins. Remember, plugins, once again, are simply programs that add some kind of functionality, so add some added functionality to your website. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next class. Okay, let's talk about widgets. But before we do, I quickly wanted to show you something with regards to our previous class where we talked about themes. Now, I said some themes will give you the options to choose how you want your site to look like, you know, to determine how you want your text to look like, or how you want certain pages to look like. Now, on one of my old websites, American Salad Bowl, I used a theme here called Forceful Lit. You can actually search for it on your own free time, search for it and install it if you want to. It's a pretty good theme. Now down here you have something called theme options. Now these options are peculiar to this particular theme, Forceful Lit. I'm going to click on it. And clicking on it, as you can see, I have different options where I can upload the 5 icon. Now, in case you're wondering what a 5 icon is, let me just quickly give you an example. I'm going to Facebook, which is always the best site to give illustrated examples, I guess. Facebook. Okay, Facebook, don't do this to me right now, okay? I need you to load. Okay, now as you can see on the top right here, there's this F. Okay, the blue thing right there, that is the 5 icon for Facebook. Every major site has a 5 icon, and if you're going to have a website, you should also get yourself a 5 icon. Now, if I had a 5 icon, let me just close this. If I had a 5 icon, I could have uploaded the image right here and it would show. Of course, there are options for Apple icons if I wanted to as well. Responsive layout, enable, disable. A responsive layout means your website would look good on a mobile device. For us web developers, we typically build 2 versions of a website. The one that will look good on your typical desktop computer and the one that will look good on your mobile device. So when it looks good on your mobile device, we say your website is responsive. So as you can see, I can choose the number of posts I want to show from what category of the posts I want them to show. I can decide to show or disable crumbs, top a banner, footer, Udemy. All right, so coming down here, as you can see, I have Udemy right here. I can change this to Udemy 2015. Click on save. And okay, if we come back down here, click refresh. And all of a sudden I have Udemy 2015. So again, all this depends on the particular theme that you're using. Some themes may not give you these options, okay, to choose from. So with that in mind, let's move on to today's class topic, which is widgets. Now, going back to my analogy of a house being a website, think of widgets as rooms that you have in your house, okay? People typically live in rooms in a house, right? Same way to do text and images and content live on your website. Think of it that way, okay? Think of your website as a house for your content, for your posts, your images, your text, because without your website, no one would actually get to read or see your information, what you're trying to, sell, or what you're trying to put out there on the internet without your website. So widgets are like areas where you can add information, okay? Either text, image, documents, video, it doesn't matter. Now, the number of widget areas that you have is determined by the theme that you're running. Let's come down here to themes. As you can see, I have the 2015 theme. Now, if I came down here and I activated, let's say, 2014 theme, for example, okay, let's activate that. I'm gonna head down here to widgets, click on widgets, and now, as you can see, I have 3 widget areas. I have one for the primary sidebar, one for the footer, and one for the content sidebar. Now, the footer, like I said, remember, the footer is always at the bottom of your page. So let's add some content. I'm gonna click on text right here, and I'm gonna drag it down here to the footer widget area. I'm gonna drop it. Okay, let's click on test, type some information. Okay, click on save. Let's see. Now, as you can see, there is some description here that says appears in the footer section of the site. So let's come down here and let's click on refresh. And if I came down here, as you can see, this is test, and you can see the absolute nonsense that I typed. It's displaying the footer on the website. Now look to the right here, you can see we have a calendar, we have a SiteGround blog, members, search. Now if I came down here, let's see, this is at the primary sidebar. You can see the search is what you have right here. It's this. Oh, wait a minute, is it? Okay, we have a calendar, so that's not exactly it. Let's see. Okay, sorry about that. Now this makes more sense. It's actually not the primary sidebar, it is the content sidebar. I have a calendar, I have the blog, the members, and search. As you can see, coming down here, I have the calendar, I have the blog, I have the members, and I have the search. So I can choose to remove this information if I want to. I can remove calendar, come down here, refresh, and as you can see, the calendar is gone. So as you can see, you can pretty much choose to decide where you want your information to show. Oh, the one on the left right here is search, recent posts, recent comments is what we have here on the primary sidebar. The main sidebar that appears on the left. This is the left. As you can see, we have the search bar, recent posts, recent comments. So I can choose to remove recent comments. Let me just remove it and put it to the side here. Come down here, click on refresh, and recent comments is gone, as you can see. The primary advantage of widgets is that you can choose to display the same kind of information on multiple pages. Okay, so this is gonna be pretty consistent. Test down here. If I clicked on, let's say May 2015, for example, as you can see, there is still the test widget down there. Let's see, let's click on, but I actually don't have any pages yet on this site, so that may be a bit of an issue to show you exactly what I'm trying to pass across. But the point here is, with widgets, you can display the same information on multiple pages over and over again. Primary sidebar. Let's add something else again. Let's add okay, let's add some more text. Basically, let's add some more text down here. Test 2. This, I'm gonna type something real this time. This is a test. I'm gonna click on save. If I came down here and I clicked on refresh, and as you can see, test 2, this is a text. Okay, so that's pretty much it about widgets. Widgets are simply areas where you can add information, and those widgets are determined by the theme that you use. Now, on my American Salad Bowl website, if I came down here to widgets, let's see, come on. Now, as you can see, I have 8 sidebars basically. Now, you may be wondering, what's the difference between a widget and a sidebar? They're pretty much the same thing. In WordPress, we use it into we can use one word for the other. We can either choose to say sidebar, or we can choose to say widget. It really doesn't matter exactly. As you can see, American Salad Bowl here, the theme here has 8 sidebars. The one right here currently says top posts and pages. Let's see which one that is. If I clicked on this, so it's empty. Which one is it? Sidebar 4, sidebar 5. Top posts and pages. This is exactly what is showing this right here. If I came down here and I removed this, come down back here, refresh the page, and as you can see, it is gone. There is nothing there showing again, as you can see. So again, as we move along on this course, you will have a better understanding of how widgets work. I will show you how to display certain widget areas on certain pages and how to hide them on other pages. So I hope this has been informative enough for you, and I'll see you in the next class where we talk about plugins. Thank you. In this class, I would like to show you how you can make some customization to your WordPress site. If you come down to Appearance and you click on Customize button, you're going to have a list of other options here that you can change. Now, the site title and tagline typically refers to the name of your website, as well as a subtitle or something else that you may like to add that further describes your website. So I'm just going to change this to cool online income. Okay, and then the tagline will be where you make money passively, something like that. Okay, and then of course you can choose to either display your header text or hide it. I'm just gonna keep mine. And now the colors, you can change the base color scheme. The default is usually black. You can change this to pink, and of course you can see the background is now pink. You can change it to yellow. You can see the other parts here to a yellow. You can do all sorts of things like this. You can even come down here and add your own hex code if you know what it is, if you have a particular hex code that you like. I'm just gonna put this down to dark. Okay, let's leave it at dark right here. And of course you can change your header and sidebar text color as well. You can change it to red. Everything here becomes red. You can change it to green. Things like this. These are things you can play around with. And of course you can also change, let's see, what was the last one? Header and sidebar background color. It's black right now. Let's change this to gray. No, I like black. Let's just leave it at black. And of course your header image. Now this is where you can add, you can either choose to add a logo as your header image, or you can choose to add a big image that appears at the background of your header at all times. So let's see how this looks like. I'm going to add a new image. I'll just add this. Select and crop. Now of course you can choose to, you can crop it. I'm just gonna, and there's a particular fixed width and height that you can go for. This of course depends on the theme as well. So let's just let me just take this small part right here. Can I actually extend this? I can, but okay, okay, this is about as big as it can get. I'm just gonna crop the image, and now you can see this appears at the background of the left sidebar. But I actually don't like it. Let me just I'm just gonna hide that. Don't think I like that. A background image, you can add a background image that will cover the entire website as well. Let's see. Actually, let's use the same image and see how that looks like. Okay, as you can see, it's right here. Doesn't look too good. There are other options here: background, no repeat, tile horizontally, tile vertically, background position left, center, no repeat. Is it scroll or is it fixed? You've got different options that you can play around with. So I encourage you to play around with this. But although if you have a substantial knowledge of CSS, then you probably would not ever need to come down here to this part of your WordPress site. You can always make changes to your WordPress site. You can always add images and add background images, change colors using CSS. But if you're not familiar with CSS, then this is something that you can try to play around with. Again, also remember that whatever theme you use depends on what options will be made available for you. If I'm just close this, I'm gonna leave this page. If you come down to appearance, if you're using another kind of theme, again, let me just show you what I'm talking about. Let me activate this stronghold theme, and now let's see. Customize will probably still have the same options. Okay, nothing much has changed here at all. Let's try another theme instead. Okay, journal lit. Alright, now with journal lit activated, you can see there's another option here called theme options. So I'm just going to click on that. And as you can see, there are things you can add right here. You can add a logo. You can change the static web font to Lato if you want to. You can do some other things here as well. So again, a lot depends on the theme that you're currently using.